Hey friends, Lainey here with a short update on what I've been up to in my writing recently. I had a couple of writing sprints this week where I had a chance to dive into my story, and what I've been working on is consequences. Once my trigger event takes place, and the bad guys start forming their group and getting angry and throwing everything off in this world, what are the consequences of that? Because as the series progresses, there's going to be a ripple effect. At first, it's just this small and this influence and this much, and it's just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse as the bad guys create their own influence, and everything just goes haywire. So what is that? What is the haywire? And so I'm thinking about, just as far as what the trigger is, and when the things that are happening the way they're supposed to be happening, when we stop those things from happening, the stuff that's supposed to go this way, what is the consequence? When you stop doing this, this happens. When this person stops doing this, this happens, and so on and so forth. And again, I still haven't figured out how much to reveal or what I'm going to reveal. And I'm always afraid that something's going to change, that I said this is what's happening. I need to be a little less afraid of that. But that is what I'm working on right now. Or what are these consequences? What makes sense in the story of what would logically happen? What would the breakdown be? Whether it's societal or nature or cultural or family wise, what are the consequences going to be as things start ripple affecting out? And so it feels kind of doomsday to me a little bit, but I have to keep remembering that one of the ways that I'm explaining my story is that kind of the world is ending and we have to save the world, and that really is what the story is about. And so I need to stop being afraid of being a doomsdayer or a doom and gloom person. I need to stop thinking that I can't be a doom and gloom person, because this book really is supposed to be about the world ending. So I have to create chaos. I have to create doom. I have to create gloom. And as a sunshine and rainbows person, that is a little bit difficult for me. But I'm trying to do it in a logical way of saying, well, this is why we do it the good way. Because if we don't do it the good way, then these bad things happen. So that's why we stay the course of being good. And it's because I'm trying to get the whole world to end, it feels really big, because it's not just going to be this person's life gets a little screwed up. No, it's the whole world is going to start getting screwed up, and it's just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. And so it's sort of fun because it's logical. And there's a theme here about purpose and living your fate and living your purpose and fulfilling your purpose. And so I want the message to be clear. I want it to be clear that when people don't live their purpose, bad things can happen. And so I have to create the bad things. So that is the brainstorming that I've been working on, is thinking through that. And so it's been kind of exciting. And then I also did a little bit of development, because I think this is part of creating this gloom. I've been doing some development on the bad guys and what they're doing. So how the bad guys develop, because the bad guys didn't exist at the beginning of the story when it starts. The trigger event is what's going to create the bad guys, because they're going to start figuring out what's going on in the world, and they think they know, they think they understand, and they think they're the good guys, but they're not. They are the ones that are going to screw up the world. And so I have to think about that progression of them figuring things out, and then they're misinterpreting it. And what does that look like? And how long is it going to take them to get to this point and this point and this point of their understanding? And what are they going to do about it? And I know that the group is going to form, the bad guy group is going to form. And I need to figure out how far it's going to get by book one, how much they're going to know, what they're going to know, what their misunderstanding is, what actions are they going to take. You know, it's probably going to be low level in the beginning because they're not going to realize how big it is. And then as the world gets worse, they're probably going to get more angry. And so their interference or their reaction to them thinking they know the truth they're going to start escalating their actions as well. So thinking about what that is and what that looks like and what that progression is and how that is going to influence the people around them and again the culture. And so it's going to be a lot of stuff happening at the same time. So I know that when I write it, I'm going to have to be very careful because I think that I can't explain everything. I can't have all of the consequences that might actually happen. I can't have it all because it would just get too much. And so I have to make sure that I'm picking very specific things that are the consequences that we see and figuring out when that's going to happen. And then again, the bad guys, as the world starts crumbling, they're going to think, see, I told you so. But what they didn't realize that they're the reason. They're the reason all these things are happening. So that's really what I'm working on. It's heavy and it's kind of complicated to write down. And so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out the big picture and then I want to plop it into this is how far these things are going to get in book 1. This is how far and what's going to happen in book 2 and so on and so forth. Both with the bad guys, what they think and what they know, and what they're going to do about it in each book. And then also, again, the consequences of both things getting off track, but also from their interference and how that's going to change throughout the books. So consequences and bad guys is what I've been doing. That's where I'm at, and I'll probably be doing this for a little while because this is like the thick of it in the scenes and the things that are going to happen in each book and some of the resolution, story building, and this is a big part of it because it's really the core of the action and the core of the story. So it might take me a little while to get through this, so hopefully my videos don't get too boring, but that's what I've been up to and all I will say for now. So thank you so much for joining. As always, I appreciate you being here on the journey with me, and I will see you next time. Bye.